Powerful new photo teaches us that women aren't the only ones who get periods. This was on Huffington Post. They wanted us to know that men are capable of getting periods too. No!
Oh, God.
Said science. Also questioned, by the way, with this paper was the highly suspicious funding source of the story. When you look, see, they're just trying to open up their market. They're just... This is true. They were
greedy
saying
capitalist bastards.
men can get periods too. This is what they're pushing here at Huffington Post. It's so confusing. We were quick to judge, but we're all second guessing ourselves because it's female to male transgenders can get their periods, but then we don't necessarily know what their stance is on male to female transgenders. This person actually claimed to be queer, so that sort of throws a wrench in the works. So we were confused ourselves. Can men menstruate too? To clear this up, we have someone following this beat, our on the field fact-checking reporter. Let's go. On the field fact-checking reporter, can you tell us, following that story, is it true that men can menstruate too? Huh? It almost clears up nothing. It almost seems as though it's a role that's not really useful here, but he's on retainer. So before we get to the obvious violation of logic, Instagram, this is where we found it. They posted this picture up there. Now, Instagram, you should note, recently removed a picture of Not Gay Jared in a towel as a violation of its services there. They actually removed that.
No joke.
A man sitting on a park bench menstruating with bloody pants, we're a little fuzzy on the rule book. So again, this comes amidst right on the heels of Lauren Southern losing her Patreon. The double standards, you don't just want to say, but look, there's a double standard, but it really matters at this point because it is so clear that there's a selective censorship of speech and an encouraging to self-censor, because now that they've just said men get periods too, guess what? If you say, well, actually, no, that's hate speech.
Yeah.
Hate speech.
So that's the problem, and you can keep widening that umbrella as hate speech.
Strike 1, 2, and 3.
This is removing the empowerment of women. Right? So think about this for a second. Not too long ago, the BuzzFeed women, they were painting with their menstruation. Why? They said, we're going to fight back against period shaming. We think that periods are a beautiful thing. Now, not a huge fan of that. I don't think that they're necessarily beautiful things, but this was to empower women that we can give life, and this is a natural process of us and what our organs are required to do in order to give life. Okay, I can kind of understand the logic there. You're proud, you're life givers. But now we're just saying, well, men can do it too. So we're stripping women of their... And by the way, here's something else too. In trying to validate this female to male transgender, this is why the left is just cannibalizing itself. In trying to validate the female to male transgender, they're saying men can menstruate too. This man has a vagina because basically his sexual organs he's still a woman. So in trying to validate him, saying you are just as much a man as anyone else, so we're gonna say men can menstruate too. Well, what about the male to female transgender? He was hoping to be validated through the guess what? He can't menstruate. A lot of people don't realize this. Genital surgery does not give ovaries, a uterus, or cervix. Medical science is far from being able to transplant those female reproductive organs for anyone, trans or not. So in trying to validate the female to male trans, you've now insulted the male to female trans because you're saying, well, men can menstruate. Well, I'm a male to female. So the only person who can't menstruate is the male to female. Who wants to be a woman. I can't have the bloody hooch picture on Instagram. The left is trying. They're not trying to empower women.
Yeah. They'd be giving them firearms by the droves.
Yeah. Yes, they'd be giving them firearms by the droves, teaching them how to defend themselves, and praising the things that women do that men cannot do. Right? If they really wanted to empower women, and this is all one issue. I think this is why people are going back and revisiting the same-sex marriage issue, because the whole concept of that was there's nothing that a mother can provide that two fathers can't, or vice versa. It basically said men and women are the exact same, and that's why you're seeing this whole, it's a nuclear arms of who can get the silliest when it comes to gender, right? 57 genders, whatever the hell it is. So we're not empowering women by saying, hey, you know what? Look, let's empower women. You are mothers. You give life. Hey, let's empower women. Look, you have an ability for compassion that men generally don't have. Hey, let's empower women. Women, you are sensitive. You are nurturers. Women, you are able to take care of children in a way that men can't. Women, you are able to problem solve in a way that men can't. Now, they can solve problems in ways that you can't, but there's so many ways that you're unique. As a woman, let's undergird that. And then instead, they say, hey, women can be badass too. Female action stars, and you try and empower them to do something that they will invariably be worse at than a man. Take Charlize Theron, take anyone from Jack Reacher too. All these people talking about how they do their own sons out. They're gonna get the shit kicked out of them. Just like you take a man, have him try to give birth, guess what? He's dead.
It's pretty simple.
It's like trying to empower LeBron James by encouraging him to be a jockey. Like, you can do it if you just, no, listen, let him empower him as LeBron James. Let the 4'2" anemic guy be the jockey. He's just hanging on for the ride, by the way. I know there's going to be one jockey in the comment section. I don't think you realize. I'm sure it's hard. I'm sure it's hard to pass the butter tray. I get your whole life is self-denial. I get it's not easy. The left has reached so far with this, and it is all tied together. That's why, we'll talk about Bernie Sanders later. The economic authoritarianism, the same-sex marriage issue, the feminism, and now the gender bender, they're all one and the same because it's this oppression Olympics, as Owen Benjamin has referred to it. So, I mean, just some of the most egregious offenses. How can the left logically support now the segregation of blacks? Yet here they are on Vox, talking about it as though it's a good thing. Caitlyn Jenner wins Woman of the Year despite not being a woman for even a year. Gays for Islam. You make sense of this one. It's not new in us pointing out double standards. What I'm pointing out is that the men can have periods too is just another step. It's going to get, if 3 years ago you could say this to the biggest Obama supporter, they would say, come on, listen.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying, what next thing you're going to compare us to, you're going to say we're going to try and normalize pedophilia? Salon did 3 articles trying to normalize pedophilia. Next you're going to say that, we're going to have pictures of trans people with periods in their pants on Instagram. Is that what you're afraid of? Yes! They go so far so quickly, and logic is not, there's no perimeter at all of logic to the left. This is what's crazy, and I'm not, why are you generalizing? I am generalizing about leftism. This is a part of progressivism, leftism. Logic is not a component. We'll talk about this with Jordan Peterson. It is only compassion, and compassion in the absence of truth becomes misguided. And that's how you end up with this guy nominated for an Emmy.
Sexuality's a spectrum, everyone is on it. Even you might like it if you sit up on it.
No, I don't like it, and I'm not sitting up on it. Hey, if you like this clip, it's taken from the full daily show available exclusively at louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub. That's for Mug Club members because we can't be dependent here on the Google, YouTube overlords. Subscribe there. We have a daily show, full hour every day. If you don't, well, there's no saving you.